What are 5 real struggles of a perfectionist? Not something that you can very easily see, yeah? Because a perfectionist is very good at hiding the struggles. But you know that if you are a perfectionist, or sometimes you get a glimpse of that if you live very close to a perfectionist. So, what are these really, really important and struggling elements of a perfectionist life? The first one is a perfectionist will burn out more than once in their life because they tend to overestimate their energy, their resources, how much they can handle. And because of this overestimation, they give too much, too fast, in a very short time, and then they burn out. And when they recover from the burnout, they're still not fully convinced that it was because of their mindset or because of their expectations or their harsh criticism. They will go back in the game doing the same thing, which they know very well, pushing themselves to their limits. So again, we're going to go back into the burnout more than once if we're perfectionists until we realize that, wait a minute, there's something here that I am not admitting to myself, which is I am just a human being. I'm not a machine, I'm not a robot. So first is burnout, the mental and physical exhaustion that comes together with a perfectionistic mindset of you are not enough, do more, you will never be enough, look at others, you have to be perfect and meet your perfect self expectations, but also other people's expectations. The second real struggle of a perfectionist is that they may seem excited, enthusiastic, driven, motivated, but on a deeper level or on some phases of their lives, they are going to realize that they don't feel joy in their lives. Joy and enthusiasm or excitement or motivation about a project is two different things. Enjoying life is different than I'm feeling nice for being productive. It's two different, completely different things. So at some point, or many points, a perfectionist will realize that I don't enjoy life. I am successful, but I don't enjoy that success. And that makes sense because a perfectionist will not stop for a moment when they achieve a goal in order to rest or to celebrate the success. They will minimize the success, dismiss the achievement by saying, well, that was not important. The most important thing is the next thing to come. So they will put the bar to the next goal. They will not allow themselves to feel proud or to celebrate for their achievement, but also they will not allow themselves the space to rest. And rest is fundamental here. So at some point they will realize that, wait a minute, I have succeeded so many times, but then it doesn't register. I don't feel anything. I don't feel the joy of having succeeded and achieved in my life. That's the second struggle. The third struggle is it's lonely. Being a perfectionist is lonely because it's very important for a perfectionist to show to the other people, to the world, that they are managing, that they don't struggle. I'm perfect. I'm doing fine. Please give me more. I can survive. I can do it. Because it's part of the success. Don't show weakness. Don't show that you're struggling. And that's why they don't share their struggles very easily. They deny that they're struggling. They deny even their feelings or their needs or their vulnerabilities. And that, of course, feels very lonely because if you're not sharing your struggles and your insecurities or your weak moments, your dark moments, because there are many in life, then you're all alone in there. So it is lonely for a perfectionist. The fourth real struggle is the lack of meaning and direction, the lack of an internal compass. And you might say, wait a minute, we have goals, we know where we're going, we know that we want to succeed. Yes, but I'm talking about connecting that direction with the meaning you give, correcting that direction that you have with values. I know that I'm heading towards that point, that direction, for that strong reason, for that value, serving that value in my life, living according to these values in my life, knowing why I prioritize what I prioritize, knowing why something is important for me. So knowing that I want to take that job or knowing that I want to write that book. Yes, it's a direction for sure, for some, but not knowing why I'm doing that and what I will derive from succeeding in that is a struggle for perfectionists sometimes, because their decisions might get polluted by other people's expectations, as we said before, by society's standards. So somebody might want to write a book because everybody writes a book. And I am not successful if I'm not one of everybody who's writing a book, which is not a good enough reason, right? It doesn't resonate personally with you. And that's exactly the fourth struggle of a perfectionist, not connecting your internal compass with the meaning you give in life, with your identity, with your values. And that's sometimes feels confusing. And that leads us to the fifth struggle of a perfectionist, which is emptiness. Sometimes a perfectionist realizes that I've achieved a lot in my life: money, career, fame, wealth, houses, or authority, status. Yes, I've achieved a lot, but I don't feel anything inside me. But I've drained myself completely inside me, and I have detached from all the feelings that I should have felt, from all the joy that I should have felt through this journey, from all the experiences that I should have absorbed and live through this process, because I was just performing, because I was just moving the pawn to the next position, because I was just doing the steps instead of being in the steps. So it is possible for a perfectionist at some point in their life to feel this existential void, and that's a real struggle. And that's why we're talking about perfectionism. So I hope I didn't depress you, but for sure we have to talk many, many times about why perfectionism is not a medal of honor, is not a trophy, is not something that you proudly say at your job interview. It is a mindset that costs much more than our productivity. It costs our whole life sometimes, the experience of life, the feelings of life, the joy of life. And that's most important than any other thing: career and productivity. So let's continue that conversation. If you're struggling with one of these struggles that we just said, no joy, burnout, loneliness, emptiness, and lack of meaning and direction, have a look at my academy. You can see there all the courses that I've created about perfectionism. And it's not only the course about perfectionism, but also the fear of failure, silencing your inner critic, finding more self-compassion, setting boundaries in your life. All these things, they're not about productivity or about perfectionism. It's about changing this mindset that costs our joy in life. I'm here if you have any questions. Have a look at the guide, How Much of a Perfectionist You Are, because it's a free guide. It's an introduction to perfectionism if you haven't heard about perfectionism before. And I'm here to continue the conversation with you and to support you in finding more freedom from perfectionism. Thank you for being here. Have a good day and take good care of yourself.